What's going on, guys? Spazmattic here, back inside Destiny 2, and as you guys can tell if you head over to the tower, New Monarchy won last week's faction rally. And for this week, the weapon is Honor's Edge. It is the sword that I am holding. And of course, I want to tell you guys, just like last faction rally, I chose Dead Orbit for all three of my characters, and Dead Orbit ended up winning. This time around, I chose New Monarchy for all three of my characters, and New Monarchy won. So I'm guessing if I chose Future War Cult next time around for all three of my characters, maybe Future War Cult will win, I don't know. But I'm going to do a little review of the Honor's Edge sword here. I'm not a big fan of swords in this game because I don't really use them in PvP, so I probably won't be showing PvP gameplay in this with the sword because I don't think I've ever used a sword in PvP. The only other sword I do have in Destiny 2 right now is the Raid sword, and it is the It Stared Back, and it's probably one of the best PvE swords in the game right now, so I'm going to be comparing it to this sword if you guys have it or not. And I don't know many swords in this game. I know the Quick Fang is pretty good for the Hunter. It's like the Hunter exclusive sword or something like that. But the only difference between It Stared Back and the Honor's Edge with the rolls I have on it is It Stared Back has more efficiency and less defense. I know going over the perks here on the It Stared Back, it has In Guard. Quick attacks immediately after swapping to the sword do additional damage. So that's pretty good, pretty decent. It's got Burst Guard. Sword Guard has low efficiency and high defense. Enduring Guard, Sword Guard has high efficiency and low defense, so basically it's like swaps. Obviously you can tell, efficiency, defense. And it's got Tempered Edge, increased sword damage and ammo. Jagged Edge, increased damage at the cost of sword ammo. Probably run with Tempered Edge because increase isn't massive, it's very minimal, so I'll probably just run with Tempered Edge. And the sword itself looks pretty cool. The only downside to swords is you cannot put shaders on them. Kind of wish you could, because this thing would look really cool if you could put a shader on this sword. It looks cool nonetheless, but a shader would definitely make it look cooler, in my opinion at least. But overall, not a big fan of swords inside of PvP or PvE, but this gun is pretty okay. You just had to leave, didn't you? But the sword is pretty good. I know, obviously, New Monarchy won because people wanted the sword, so obviously it was a fan favorite, and people wanted the sword, and I thought it was pretty cool as well. The other factions didn't have that great of weapons. I know Dead Orbit had the grenade launcher, and I think a Future War Cult had a fusion rifle. So obviously I wanted the sword, it looked cool, and I just wanted to do a little gameplay of it. Not a big sword person in this game, but I know most swords in this game are kind of the same, I guess, because if I use this in PvP, you're most likely going to one-swipe everyone, and obviously most swords do the same amount of damage in PvP. And for PvE, there really aren't any activities you can use swords in that are like, swords are the best option other than dogs inside of the Leviathan raid. I know the It Stared Back is really good for the dogs part inside of the raid. This sword is pretty good as well because obviously it's going to be very similar in damage, and they're the same archetype because they both are adaptive type swords, both well-rounded. It Stared Back has consecutive rapid sword strikes, increase the weapon's damage output, and landing 3 strikes within a short time grants sword ammo, which is probably why it's so good against the dogs because you get more ammo when you hit 3 in a row. The Honor's Edge does not have that. It has quick attacks immediately after swapping to the sword do additional damage, so like if I'm holding my older sister and then that sounds so weird. If I have my older sister on, I switch to the Honor's Edge and I get a quick attack off, I'll do additional damage with this sword. So it's not bad. It could be for PvP if you're like using your secondary and then switch to your sword ammo. If you have ammo on your sword, just switch to it real quick, and it won't really matter because obviously the person dies in one hit anyways, but if they have like an overshield of some sort, you could probably one hit them with that swing. And same for PvE, if you're fighting a strike boss or high value target with yellow health, that extra strike will be doing a lot more damage. So just like I know most of my reviews, I know I tweeted this out. I usually just give my opinions of the weapon or the sword. If I like it or not, dislike it, it's giving my opinions on the thing. I'm not saying this is the best sword in the game, but it is a very viable and useful sword inside of Destiny 2. Can be used for pretty much every activity in the game. That's just my thoughts on the sword in general. So all around purpose sword, looks cool. I like the feel of it because obviously swords are nice to use in this game and they're fun to use. And I don't know, it looks pretty cool even though I have like no ammo for it right now, which is the only downside to swords as well, is that power ammo is very hard to come by in Destiny 2. If heavy ammo synthesis were a thing in this game, it would be like, I'd probably use swords a lot more, or like power weapons in general, honestly. But other than that, this sword is definitely a recommendation. I know if you guys are with New Monarchy and you can buy it for 1,000 Glimmer and you're like Dead Orbit or Future War Cult, you have to pay 50,000 Glimmer for it, which kind of sucks, but honestly it might be worth it because last time Faction Rally was here, you had the Haunted Earth Sky Rifle for Dead Orbit, And I would definitely say that this weapon for this week is way better than last time's faction rally. So I highly recommend it if you guys are with New Monarchy or not. Just pick it up, see what it's like if you don't have a sword. Hope you guys enjoyed this little review of the Honor's Edge New Monarchy sword inside of Destiny 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, hopefully more reviews to come. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later back inside Destiny 2. Peace.